So what should we do now? We can do lessons. If we go to lessons, if we go to Jam Basics, all Jam Basics is just that thing that we just did, the intro. And they don't tell you that. That's another thing. They don't tell you that, and they don't tell you how to get to the next lesson section. That's another problem. They never tell you how to get to the next lesson section. You have to know that you have to play things. What is it? You have to play songs and save videos, and after you save a certain amount of videos, it unlocks the advanced lessons. The video section is just watching videos, so you have to go to Jam. You go to Quick Jam. But I'm gonna go to Instrument Improv. Hell yes. I'm gonna hydrate right now. Right now. I'm hydrated, alright. So, check it out. You can't do that on a computer. Yeah, it's so awesome. Alright, let's do a jam. Let's do a bass. Upright bass. Play your tutes. Weird instrument choices. I don't like this one. I don't know why. I just gotta go out. Just gotta get out. I think that the game just doesn't like starting with one note and then pausing. Because I like hitting one note and then hearing what the note was to see where I want to go. I don't know why. It's just you gotta start with the phrase right at the beginning, or something, or just start playing note after note. Just play steady stream notes if you don't have any idea. Fuck, I don't want to use that. I want to use a drum set. I guess I want to maybe electric bass. Let's just see. Aww. What the fuck? Let's just see where it goes. I think the tempo is like off or something. Oh, there it is. They set, cause like you can look at his foot tapping, and that's like what he wants to go. That's the speed that the character kind of like wants to go, and that the rest of the music's gonna like try to be. But you can change that tempo, because at the very beginning there's foot tapping. You can change that tempo. That's one of those things that, like, man, I really wish they made a Wii Music 2 and stuff. I hope they do eventually. Let's just see where it goes. Bow, bow. This is so strange. I want them to do something else. Like, for me, when I'm jamming, if we're like in the same like beat or whatever, I like to change it up. Like, even if they're like playing like the same like general like speed, like it feels like it's the same like pace. That's the word that I like to use. to describe, like, it's like this. It doesn't matter if it's the same tempo, but it could be a different pace. Like that's why like dubstep feels slow when it's done a certain way. You know, like it's the pace of the song. It's the way the drums are spread out across the song. Yeah, let's just see where it goes. I just like having pauses. Yeah. How about that? Remember that button? Do you remember you can press other buttons and do things? One of the buttons plays chords. I think that was a pretty strange sounding. I don't know. I just like think the instruments kind of are important. I just wish like there'd be like if I press that again, they should have different instruments every time instead of the same instruments coming in every time. But it's the very beginning. It's the very beginning of playing the game, so it's probably doing certain things to make it simpler for you. Obviously, hold the Wii remote in your right hand. Use nunchuck in your left. Hold out your hands. Make a sound, move the Wii remote and nunchuck as if you're hitting drums. Hold A or B while moving the Wii remote to make different sounds, or C or Z while moving the nunchuck to make different sounds. Ready? Yeah! So for this one, it would probably be better if you used your dominant hand, because I'm a lefty, so I should use the Wii remote in my left hand just so my dominant hand's always moving on the... Because I think they divide... I think they just assume that your nunchuck's not going to be doing the dominance, like the downbeat or stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how they... Because this is like a very like weird type of... You just move your hands in any sort of rhythm pattern and it just puts it across the drums, which is a really strange thing. And if you press certain buttons, you can do a cymbal or snare. And that's it. Then you can do the different taunts or the different emotions, I guess. Whatever they are. The different, celebrations with the D-pad. And that's it. And like, there's the two buttons, like C or Z and A, B on the Wii remote and the nunchuck, and each of them like is for a cymbal or a snare for each hand. So you have to press that button, and it works for that hand. Like if I press the cymbal button, and on the right hand, on the nunchuck, and I use my left hand on the Wii remotes, it won't work. That's the cool thing about it. All right. Love it. And it's gonna work awesome, I think. Let's see. Oh, that's so shitty. Okay, I started on my own tempo. That's one of the things that Wii Music does that I don't like. That I wish it had more freedom, but I understand why they do it because it makes it more guided, or makes it easier for them to get it, to make it sound good or whatever. But like, you can change the tempo a certain amount, but not always as much as you want. You know, you don't have, yeah. Okay, so I just gotta go with that. Okay. Alright, let's do it. We're drumming, we're drumming, we're drumming, we're drumming, we're drumming, we're drumming. Yeah. How about that? Yeah. So it's funny because like the xylophone's playing what I'm doing. It's playing the same. It's playing the same rhythm that I'm doing on the drums. What the fuck? It went out of sync for a second. Okay, I gotta put like the wrist strap on because it was like flying around as I was. So like basically, as you're playing drums, you could also play xylophone. You can't do that on the computer, okay? I'm so into it I can't talk, I'm sorry. So, what I was doing there was something that you just can't do on the fucking computer, okay? You just can't. You can't do fast rhythms. I was doing one hand just doing a beat, right? Like my left hand's just trying as hard as I can to stay on the beat at least. And then I was using my other hand to do other rhythms, which is, it's not hard because one of them is just doing a metronome, the other one's trying to actually be creative, but the cool thing is when you can actually use both hands and then have them both be doing different rhythms, but also be doing one rhythm on top of each other, like a polyrhythm basically, but like not really a polyrhythm because a polyrhythm repeats, so you do polyrhythms for maybe like a couple bars. Okay, so I gotta go. Let's get into it again. I wish you had a different snare sound. And you can actually do a soft snare. Listen. See? See? Hard. Hard snare. Right? And then a soft. Oh, sick. Okay, I've got both hands on the snare. Try to do a buzz roll. Oh man. Oh man, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Holy shit. Okay. Isn't this awesome? Because like the music died down and the drums stopping like sounded good. And then now the drums just doing the bass drum and snare sounds awesome too because of the way it's building. Haha. That's exactly what I want to do too. That's the coolest thing. Oh man. Oh my fucking god. Oh. The snare, the cymbals are always me. And that's, whenever you hear that certain sounding snare, that's me, like. And the thing about this is it's actually kind of hard, because you can easily press the cymbal button when you want to press the snare button. So you just gotta remember. And also, whichever hand, like you might press the cymbal button and then on the nunchuck, and then use the Wiimote. And then you'd be like, what, it didn't work? So you gotta remember that the hands matter, so you have to have good hand coordination. But the thing is, a lot of people were bad at it and stuff when they first played it, so they went, oh, I'm bad at it, so the game's bad, and they forgot that, like, when you were a kid, you didn't know how to play video games at all, so you had to, like, learn everything, so you're shitty at every single game. So, like, you had to learn, so basically, like, you were learning a lot more when you were a kid, when you first, like, learned how to play those, like, original games on, like, NES and N64 and stuff like that, and, like, now, when you look at a game, you go, oh, that's shitty because I can't play it. Because it's too hard. It's like, no, you just gotta open your mind again like you used to, and because like all the games now are like more stale or whatever, you gotta like remember that like being challenged is a good thing and learning is a good thing. So this is a weird rhythm. I like it though. And if you're ever wondering what exactly I'm playing, it's just listen to the xylophone, right? And doing certain things on the nunchuck, certain things on the Wiimote seem to maybe do something. So, one cool thing is that the cymbals sound different, right? And the coolest thing about, and another like ridiculous thing, I feel like if you're doing fast stuff, it's just hard to like press, you have to get good at like pressing the button as you hit it, and then letting go of it as soon as you stop. Like, I'll do one hand, okay? I'll just use the Wiimote and I'll show you, like, right? You have to like be able to press like the snare and then let go, right? Like, I'm using one hand. I'm trying to do the snare on the beat, but I'm trying to do the cymbal on the beat, but it's kind of hard sometimes. That's me showing you that doing it with one hand is fucking hard, right? So you gotta use two hands. So you have like half as many hits on the Wiimote. More time in between to press the button as you swing down. But if I was going as fast as I was doing before, it would sound twice as fast if I used both hands, right? So it's really fast, and this game can respond to all of that, which is kind of fucking amazing. Oh man, I'm so exhausted. Oh, I'm sweating. Whew. Basic drums. Let's do jazz. So, jazz, you can't just do the same rhythms. Like, you can surely do a metronome if you want, just do quarter notes. But you gotta do, like, this other thing that sounds better. Listen. You have to have a swing, too. Eighth notes with the swing. And as you notice, he's not using drumsticks, he's using something called a brush, which is like metal. I think you can get them made out of other things. I'm not a drummer. It's a hobby of mine. I think like a drummer, but I'm not a drummer. Like, I write drum stuff, but I don't I wish I gotta know more about. I gotta learn more about drums, but like, a friend who's a drummer doesn't really talk to me much anymore because I kept on wanting to learn more. I don't know. I wish he like taught me more about drums. But what can you do? Tried to teach him how to play piano, but whatever. How about this? Okay, I'm gonna change it like this. Oh man. Oh man, I can get it. I think I can do it. It's so hard to do. I gotta use both hands. It's the only way to do it. You gotta use like both hands. So one of the hands goes and the other one does like a beat. So hard. You just can't do it exactly. So this is exactly what I wanted to lead towards. So when I'm doing this, you can't do exactly what you want. You can't. You don't have exact control. You can't do the ride cymbal exactly when you want. You can't do a rhythm pattern on the ride cymbal and then do, because it just sometimes does the snare and stuff because it wants to do everything on the drums. Even if you try to do like a da 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 with one hand and then ba 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 ba, you know, with the other hand. And this is where the pro drums come in, because this is something that you can't do on the computer either, because you can't use the balance board on the computer. And this is why no one should ever fucking, like, this is why you should actually fucking buy the shit and get the actual system and stuff like that, instead of being like, oh, I got Skyward Sword and the PC's the best, you don't need a Wii, you can this is my Wii placement. It's like, fuck you, you don't know what you're talking about. Why don't you play the game on the actual system before you even start judging? Like, why like some like people that actually, the only time they've ever played a certain Wii game is on their computer? Like, what the fuck is up with these people? Like, holy shit, like, I'm sorry. That is fucked up. Like, first of all, it's not going to be the same experience. You're getting a worse experience. And second of all, like, once you appreciate fucking hard work and awesomeness where it is and stuff like that, and like, man, it's like downloading Led Zeppelin at like the lowest bitrate possible and be like, yeah, I got all the Led Zeppelin albums, and they're like, and it's like 10 megabytes for all of it because you have it at such a low bitrate, you know? It's like, that's, like, I did that when I was a little kid, because I had like a Rio Diamond, like the very first MP3 player ever made. Such a small amount of, like, 5 megabytes of storage, or 8 or something. It was like megabytes. So yeah, like you'd make those back in the days with like the look and like mini disc players and stuff like that. You'd have to make things lower bit rate so you can fit more. And then CDRs, you'd do that too. I'd have like a CD and burn a CD that would have music at a lower bit rate so I could have more music. But that was because I already had all these CDs, and that's what I was doing with the CDs, just because I needed to have all those CDs in a spot. You know, but I knew the fucking sound was bad, and I would like spend hours encoding the music into different bit rates, and like, oh, that sounds like shit. That sounds a bit better. Oh, that sounds acceptable. I think that's acceptable enough that I could go around and listen to it and kind of hear the song. But then when I'd go home, I'd listen to it on the CD because it would sound better, and that's actually what I would fucking do. But like, anyways, like, playing like a Wii game on your computer is just like downloading music at the lowest bitrate possible and being like, yeah, I love music. It's like, no. You get what I mean. It's like, it's a very, it changes everything. It changes the experience. Like, yeah. It'd be like fuck. don't know, like certain animals like just kill another animal and then just start eating the animal, but you wouldn't do that. You know, you wouldn't start eating something right after you killed it. You know, you wouldn't go and kill an animal and start eating it right away. You'd cook it first. So, like, I don't know, it's kind of like that. It's like someone who, I don't know. But I don't know, some people probably say that's good. I don't fucking know. Like, I don't know what I'm even, I basically what I'm saying, I don't even know if there's a comparison. It's just, yeah. It's just certain Wii games are like a perfect example of like the system that you need the system to run on it. And like, how about N64? You can't run like Star Wars Rogue Squadron. And then there's another Star Wars game on N64. I forget the name, but like there's these 2 Star Wars games on N64 that you can't run on the N64 emulator on the computer. So what the fuck? And there's lots of things like, yeah. Like people trying to take apart Earthbound or whatever, and then they like see that all the timing for every like in between all the words and stuff's all manually in there. It's like there's a lot of hard work put into things. So how about like Super Nintendo stuff? There's certain Super Nintendo games that are made to run on that system exactly because they have like a processor on the cartridge as well that runs with the processor on this like console. It's fucked. So yeah, that shit's just crazy. But I don't know if that stuff really like resulted in like a unique thing that could never be reproduced anywhere. It's just like that exact thing couldn't be reproduced anywhere because they went through so much bullshit to get that to work in the first place. So to get that to work in another situation would probably be ridiculous. Anyways, that's not what I'm saying about this. This is just like, it's just more responsive on the Wii. I don't know why I need to spend so much time talking about that. It's just because it's so true, and it needs to be so common knowledge that like everyone says that, and everyone's just like, yeah, that's just the way it is. Like, what are you talking about? It's like motion controls are actually good. There are a lot of good games that did motion controls well. There are actually a few like PlayStation 3 games that did motion control as well. It's just like in between all the bullshit and stuff like that, like people need to like connect and stuff like that. It needs to be like that shit looks like it's still connect even on Xbox One. Like certain things that you do with it still look like the iToy on PS2, like the way that you just hold your hand here and certain other weird things, even though it's more advanced in other ways. It's like it makes me think about like when Nintendo recently said that like a while ago, they're like, we're gonna make that new console, we're gonna have a new system that's about health or whatever, like whatever the fuck they were saying. Like basically like they were talking about that Wii Vitality Sensor when the Wii came out, the original Wii and stuff. They're saying Wii Vitality Sensor and stuff. Like they've been obviously thinking about this and testing that stuff in the background for a long time. Like when they say they're gonna do that, like it's not like, oh, they're just trying it. Like I'm 99% sure that like they know what the fuck they're doing. And it's like, yeah, it's really, really, really cool, and it makes me happy. And maybe I should play more of this actual game. Huh? That's what one of the buttons does. Haha, isn't that weird? So I'm gonna go backwards. And there's so much more to do in this game. I'll show you drum mode after, okay? I'm gonna take a break because I've been playing this for a while in one like long continuous spurt of craziness, and I'm tired from playing the drums so long. But I want to do the crazy drums, even crazier drums. Not the simplified drums, but this is drum mode, and I'm gonna get my balance board out and stuff. I'll see you guys next time, alright? Sweet. This is the beginning of a ridiculously long adventure. We're gonna be. I personally want to make like. I could go from making like a few thousand videos of this. I don't know. I could like seriously like that's how much I love this and think it needs to be like that's how much I think this game needs to be like just widespread common knowledge. Just this this game's the shit. Like, what's the best music game ever? Oh, Wii Music. Why? Because it teaches you things that a lot of music teachers would never ever tell you or would ever have even known themselves. Because the people that made this game were not only the people that made this game weren't just good programmers and stuff like that, but also a shitload of great musicians. And yeah, like I think like the way that they took all of the knowledge that is music and tried to make it into a simplified form and stuff like that everyone can understand in this game, like I think it's kind of like the same way that like Apple tries to make a super complicated computer simple for anyone else. Like I think it's like the same type of thinking of like how do we get this giant web of complex things and try to organize it in an easier way, or try to like what are the few key things that we need to communicate that will make everything else click. Yeah, I'm gonna take a break. Thanks for watching. Thanks for appreciating everything, and I'll see you later. Peace.